The year is 2401. Humankind finds itself locked in a mortal struggle with the TimeSplitters, an evil race of creatures bent on the destruction of the entire human race. Using the power of the time crystals, they travel through our history, pushing humanity to the very brink of extinction. With resistance weakening, our last hope lies with a small ship speeding towards Earth. On board are 9 stolen time crystals, intended to power the time machine constructed by Earth's finest scientists. The plan? To travel back in time, find the source of the time crystals, and destroy them all, ending the war before it ever...
Hello ladies and gentlemen and welcome. I am your host Random Gamer Riven, and hello to Peter R.H. the Black Ice. Nice to have someone commenting away. Yes, no, we did not get the 4th game in the series, sadly, due to 3 Radical going bust. And basically this game was effectively a spiritual successor spin-off of the GoldenEye and Perfect Dark games, as it was developed by many of the Rare staff who worked on GoldenEye.
Unidentified ship. This is Control. Please identify yourself. Over.
This is Cortez.
Sergeant Cortez. Welcome home, sir. I'll patch you through to the general. Cortez?
I didn't actually realise GoldenEye never got released in Germany either the other day.
We're under attack. Cortez, do you have them? Are they on board?
Yes, sir. They're right here.
You gotta bring them in, soldier.
Don't worry about me, General. I can...
So this is the 3rd and final outing. The first game is sort of
Warning.
no, the 4th game wasn't cancelled because they didn't know what character to put on the box art. The 4th game was cancelled because they were struggling with development of it. Trust me, you don't cancel games because you don't know what to put on the box art. You cancel games when you've got financial reasons or the game's in bad condition. They only ever released concept art for the 4th game. It was a long way off completion.
Ooh, that's gotta hurt. You okay, Sarge? Come on, Sarge.
So this 3rd outing does support widescreen and 4:3 aspect ratio. I'm playing in... First thing I'll do is just adjust. I hate inverted controls, so I'll just turn off. Inverted controls are fine for flight sims, but not... I should also turn off the rumble while I'm at it as well, because I don't want rumbleitis. Rumble off. Yeah, no, sadly this is the 3rd and final game. I think the 4th game wasn't actually that far in development when it was cancelled, but yeah, not to the box art. It was not cancelled because of the cover art. I don't know quite what that reason would have been come up with. That's a weird one. I've heard strange reasons on the internet for a lot of games. Generally, they aren't usually right. Usually it's financial or the development troubles. I think the problem with it is TimeSplitters 3 actually wraps up the story quite nicely, putting an end to the trilogy. Now you can play this in widescreen on the Gamecube, but I'm not, because the Gamecube doesn't actually do proper widescreen, and if I put it into widescreen on the Gamecube I actually lose graphical fidelity. I'm actually playing this via the PAL version, and I've actually forced the PAL version into NTST to get progressive scan, so I'm not actually using Swish today. I'm just actually using one of the old 1.6 action replay builds to basically tell the game that it's running on an American console, and then you still get the progressive scan. So there are a number of PAL games with progressive scan. The other reason for that is that Swish progressive scan for this is actually incorrect for some of the
This way, Sarge. Watch your step. Enemy sighted. They just keep coming. Keep firing.
Swish does actually get progressive scan, occasionally wrong on some games with the colour not quite right, and this is one of them. So this basically follows on from the end of the second game where Captain Cortez has made a break for it. Corporal Hart, his company in the second game, sadly gets killed at the end of the second game. The first game's a bit weird because it doesn't quite link into anything. The first game was sort of a really, if you play the first game now, it's a bit weird in comparison to the second. The second one's quite a sort of normal shooter and has quite a good storyline. I think the second game for me is the best one. This one is probably the most proficient one, but the story is although the story's quite good, they overly replay a lot of stages, but there's some great visual effects coming up, like there you see the bridge just about to blow up. You've got multiple enemies inbound, you've got secondary fire. As a first person shooter, it's actually really very good. And there's some nice bits in this, but I just prefer the stage design from the second game. It is a very enjoyable series. If you haven't played the TimeSplitters game, oh, we'll blown up half my health bar doing that. Right, don't shoot boxes. See, there's some other great visual effects there with the ship coming crashing down. Some really good effects in games. So really impressive. I mean, Free Radical did some really great stuff. I have to admit, they did some really good stuff. I do actually know my old lead actually worked on TimeSplitters 2, and he was always amazed when I told him, hey, I'd done all the platinums on TimeSplitters 2 and then all the platinums on TimeSplitters. Yeah, there are a few games that have been cancelled for dumb reasons, but mainly it's monetary. And I think in more recent times, it's mainly monetary reasons. Sometimes there are some odd cultural issues where they don't get released. I think largely it's more games just not getting released. Generally, most games, there's often misconception among a lot of people that games, when they're canned, are often canned in near complete states. I can tell you now, the vast majority of games are never canned at near complete states. There are one or two games that have been canned at literally finished state, but they're the exception to the norm. The majority, most are in concept or early build, so vertical slice stages, maybe first playable build, but they're a long way off. Although saying that, I did work on one game that was canned where we had actually it was basically past alpha, so it was into beta stage. You could finish the game, but it was still quite a long way off being in a really good condition. Although it was shaping up quite nicely as a game, but it was still. And I've worked on a few games that were cancelled literally little more than sketches. And the one that did get cancelled that was quite a way into development, that was due to the film studio not liking the license and getting a bit annoyed with the game studio. That was actually one of the Disney games. To be specific, that was actually Pirates. I might as well say it. That was actually Pirates of the Damned Armada. So.
Sergeant Cortez, your timing couldn't be better. Come on, follow me.
Yeah, I think TimeSplitters is still a very popular franchise. I think there was hope they would get a sequel, but we still haven't seen a follow-up game just yet. I mean, there's lots of YouTubers and people who do cover this game because it's still quite a cult niche. It's quite a popular type. I mean, this was a big seller. You've got to remember, this was a big franchise. TimeSplitters 1 was an early PS2 game. I remember it because I was actually working in Toys R Us back when the PS2 launched, and this was one of the few. TimeSplitters 1 was one of the few games we actually had at the time. So TimeSplitters 2 was a really early one. I can't remember if it's 2000 or 2001. TimeSplitters 2. No, TimeSplitters 1. TimeSplitters 2 was a few years later because it got released on Gamecube, Xbox, and PS2. TimeSplitters 2 is a really good. Got an enemy behind me, I think. Just jump back on. This is a very fast-paced action shooter, which is what made it such a good series, that they were all very fast-paced you don't quite get FPSs generally aren't this fast paced anymore. This still very much has some hangouts from GoldenEye, so you'll notice this HUD system is very similar to the one seen in GoldenEye. And again, if you like this video, please, just to reiterate, please do hit the like button. It always helps us on the channel, helps get our streams more noticed as well.
Hold your fire! Great work, Cortez.
The general's waiting, Sarge.
Make a run for the base. We'll try and buy you some time. Let's go.
Yeah, this does run really smoothly. I'm not entirely sure if this is 60 frames or not. I'm actually just streaming at 60, so it may be 60, it may be 30. I have a feeling it might actually be 30 frames, Daniel. But we're just streaming it because we tend to change a lot of games up. It's for streaming, we're just streaming at 60, but it is very, very smooth. I have a feeling this is actually 30, not 60, but it's very, very smooth. There's very little in the way of slowdown. It's a really, really well-playing game. I do remember enjoying the opening missions. There were a few missions. So this one has a slight weird mechanic. It was quite an interesting mechanic where you end up replaying a lot of the stages in the game because effectively the game in two-player mode, because they bump off Corporal Hart, they effectively have two-player by having Cortez appear twice in a lot of the missions. So you actually end up replaying a lot of the missions because and I just shot one of my allies there. Don't want to do that.
Come on, Cortez, get back to base. We can't hold them forever.
There's some great audio, I must admit, in this. The soundtrack is fantastic. I think it's Graham Northgate. And his soundtrack, all the guys who did, it's a new character available, the Gen. So we've got Anya. Okay, you think it is 60?
General,
Cortez, you made it.
have you got them? Right here. Good. Let's get them to the lab.
Just remember, the higher you'll get a higher bit rate
Team
at
has found when the
720.
crystals
So
are used for time travel, they leave an energy residue. We've recalibrated our scanners and we can now trace specific locations where they've been used.
And what are you hoping to find there?
Anything that will lead us to the source. I know it's not much to go on, but it's all we've got. Ah, we're here.
General,
Cortez, meet Anya, our chief science officer.
is that them? Beautiful. Bring them over to the machine and let's get them plugged in. Now, I've located energy residue in numerous places, but the highest concentration is right here.
That's in the ocean.
It is now, but there used to be an island there. It was destroyed during a battle in 1924.
But when were the crystals used?
That we don't know. Calculating the location of the energy pockets is one thing, but we have no way of knowing when the time jumps actually occurred.
But you're thinking those time jumps probably happened right before that island was destroyed.
Exactly. Here, put out your arm.
What's that?
It's an uplink to the time machine. I've set it to take you to the island just before its destruction.
Sorry, Cortez, but I need to send my best man on this, and that's you.
I should have guessed. All right. Find the crystals and destroy the lot. How hard could it be?
Good luck, Cortez.
Thanks.
I'm quite used to playing with the C stick, so I don't have any issues with it. But yeah, I do know that the pad isn't great. Overall, this one plays quite well with the pad. But then I have quite slim fingers. If you certainly had a bigger fingers than me, you might have. I think it depends. I generally don't have too many issues with the Gamecube pad, other than the terrible button sizing.
What the?
Any chance of a hand?
I say, what are you doing way out here, old chap?
I'm supposed to be on that island.
Are you sure, Bean? This whole area's about to be bombed to Kingdom Come.
By who?
Well, by the Navy, of course.
Damn it.
Don't worry, old boy. We've a while yet. There's someone I have to find on the island first. Those Navy chaps won't attack until they get my signal. But what? That was my best pipe, you bounders! No, don't!
Get down.
Good shot, old man.
I don't think much of this weapon.
But I'm afraid you've let the cat out of the bag now.
Why?
So visually, this actually
What's going on?
holds up very
That
well.
was the signal. It's going to get a bit hairy from here on.
Damn it. All right, look. If you can get us to shore without getting us killed, I'll help you find your friends. Okay?
Good show, sir. Consider it done.
So yes, there's some quintessential English design in this. There's also some great, quite good futuristic design with some of the characters. Free Radical, I think, were an interesting studio. They had some great designs, but their work of the bigger regular CG. No, I hadn't actually done that. I like to keep my pads in original condition, so we don't tend to alter the things. I imagine it's probably quite a bit easier because the thing is nicer. So I assume, yeah, they are actually the same size. Looking at the slot areas.
Well, we better make the best of things, OB. Take this gun and let's see if we can reach the castle in one piece. Last one alive's a big gold blouse.
Free Radical, interestingly, having knowing a few people that worked at them, told some interesting stories.
Is probably inside that castle. Hurry, Cortez, and be careful.
Couple of shady-looking fellows over there. What
Hell and
strange
death.
uniforms.
Commander, this is Dessler. We're under heavy bombardment. Gunther is dead. No enemy troops.
I'm just going to run in there, shoot, but it does play, and look, I mean, for a shooter, this has aged really well, and certainly for a GameCube title, this looks really, really good. The Xbox version may be slightly better, but you really want to be using progressive scan on the Xbox version. And the thing with the Xbox is it does have that terrible blur filter by default.
You over there, hold this position.
On the hill, old boy. They've got the high ground and good cover, old boy. The finest traditions of the British Army, I suggest a full frontal. Assault, that is. Rat, a machine. All clear, old chap.
Do keep an ear to the music because it is absolutely great in this. So am I going to man that machine gun? Yes, I can do. It's actually, I mean, as a sequel, this definitely improves upon the original game and the sequel. But I just think, so the second game is a very solid shooter, and I really like the design of the second game. I prefer some of the level structure. This one is a more polished title, but I don't like the levels as much. This is, of course, 2 players as well, which was one of the cool things about TimeSplitters. They were both 2 and 3, both had co-op.
Problems here, old chap. Spook.
We're not going anywhere till we get this portcullis raised.
It's no good, old boy. I can't budge it. You'll have to find the controls.
Okay, mustn't shoot. Yeah, there were a few. Certainly in the sequel, there was a couple of different cutscenes, and I think it's the second one, second of 2, because in 2-player mode, I'd actually played through this originally in 2-player, so I know as Peter says, you did get slightly different cutscenes, I seem to recall. Player 2 actually plays as the captain. Oh, fine.
This gun is not on file for this time period. It seems to have been custom built.
I'm running low on health, so I've got to be careful.
Keep firing!
And that's one of the things I loved about the Rare games was they were very action-packed, fast-paced.
Right idea, old bean, but that's the wrong portcullis.
Okay, so I got to the other side. It is very fast-paced. It is very action-packed, kids.
We don't have time to stand around, old chap.
They got that Highland tune, which is actually really nice playing.
There's
So,
a switch to raise the portcullis. Now we can get out of
Jolly
here.
good ship.
hopefully you can all see it. The picture's a bit dark. I can always turn up the brightness a little.
The gunboat is pinned down, old chap. Can you disable the turret somehow?
These look like the controls for that crane there.
Oh yes, there. So now we've actually got to go. So we want to grab. So there's some really nice mechanics here as well with the. Lower. And drop him in the water there. Great sense of humour as well with these. They really were. It's been some time since I've actually played through. In fact, I only played through. Yes, it has 60 Hz. It also has progressive scan if you have the. So I'm actually playing on the progressive scan mode at the minute. And that's because this includes progressive scan. Now, it does include widescreen, but I'm not playing in widescreen because you actually lose a bit of graphical fidelity because of how the Gamecube did widescreen. It's not quite true widescreen. The PAL version does include the progressive scan, but you need to force it into NTSC. So this is actually the PAL version. I'm playing it via progressive scan, but I'm using a 1.6 action replay to force it, to tell it was basically to boot it as a US game. And then if you've got a device such as the one I've currently got, incidentally the video device I can't speak about in the review, but we're going to be doing a review of it very shortly that's giving me the progressive scan picture. So basically I'm not using an official component lead, I'm using a HDMI device. It's really, really good. And I have actually commented in the channel community page about it, so if you want to see more about it, do check out that. There will be a review coming very shortly, a video review. I'm currently in the midst of editing, so that should be due out in the near future. I'd like to see if it's out tomorrow, but I have a feeling it probably won't be. But yes, this is progressive scan over HDMI, just to give you that added sharpness, picture quality. Co-op mode usually makes the game easier, I have to admit. I think, yeah, the story, there's an element, you probably do lose a bit of the story with the characters not speaking as much in co-op. Some really great, as you see there, like some really great action scenes with you blowing up the planes and I think some really good, it really shows you the guys who did GoldenEye were really sort of shoot the gun turrets out. There's some really good destructive stuff, it really is. You're rocking a retro CRT setup, nice. I do actually have a CRT set up myself, but Oh dear, Captain Ash has been okay. Retry from checkpoint. What killed him? He must have got hit by like one thing.
The pigments of Olawonga were tougher than this. Crikey. Ah, some vehicular assistance. Certainly beats walking.
So I'm going to be honest, games like this were probably not designed to be played on CRTs. They were actually designed to be played over progressive scanning, but because the Gamecube was designed to do interlacing, so it was designed to effectively create a progressive scan picture on a CRT. I do love CRTs. For Gamecube and above, and the Dreamcast, I tend to prefer progressive scan if I can get it, but I do still play a lot on CRTs. I do have a big old Philips CRTV which gives a fantastic picture. One interesting thing I should say is there's a lot of talk about PCMs, the sort of high quality CRTs. I'm going to let you in on a little secret. They were mainly market things, or basically they were designed for professional people, but the thing is, by the end of CRT development, they were sort of obsoleted because professional CRTs, any sort of standard CRT would give you a professional picture. So I'm always a bit weird about the love for PCMs when it's
Cortez, your uplink can move objects at a distance. Try aiming it at that lever over there.
Hey, I know you're over there. Over this drawbridge, or I'm going to give you a right good thumping.
my uplink. Press R2. Aim over an object, hold R and grip. Okay, how do I equip to my uplink? Ah, there we go.
There we go. You thank me later.
I say, how did you do that? There's more to you than meets the eye, eh? Do you think that device might be useful force? Say, I don't know, getting into bank vaults, perhaps?
Can I get... Select break reverse. Oh, I didn't realise there are actually some sections actually missing in the two-player. That's interesting to know. Definitely one you want to probably play through in both single player. So yeah, you actually have vehicle controls in this, which you didn't have in the second game. So that's a really nice addition. Run these guys over. Okay, right. I think that's the end of the car journey. We're a little bit rusty.
Well, you got the explosives, old chap. It's time this door wasn't here.
Something tells me the captain has done this before.
Okay, which door is he talking about? I'm guessing this one, get to passage. Right, it's time to shoot some action.
There goes the gate! Here they come! Let's get up!
No, I must be, I do quite enjoy the mining crystal site. I do think the controls are really good, they play really well. So even though I'm using the Gamecube controller, it's very smooth, it does play very well. Ally's not a huge help, but...
We took care of them. Right, I need to find a vantage point, old chap. Somewhere to sit.
Hey, Up here. What? But you're me. I knew you'd say that. Here. A key. What does it... You'll figure it out. Just make sure to pass it on when you're done. What the hell just happened?
I'm not sure, but I think we'll find out soon enough.
So yeah, this game, that's one of the main points. You do actually end up playing as two Cortezes for the vast majority of it. Hence why you actually saw that was the shadowy figures.
Oh, yes, this is... Oh, very nice.
Lots of English jokes. Just going to explore this, see if there's anything I can... I've missed anything. Ammo, loot...
It's me. It's all me. I am best. Bestest guard. Without me, no guarding. All rubbish guarding. God of guards. And girls. Girls love me. So hairy chest. Such a big medallion.
So he is well and truly drunk.
Hello down there! I heard gunfire and I thought it had to be you. You know what? This place is riddled with secret passages. Terribly exciting. Anyway, let's get you up here. Right, I'm off again. There's someone I need to rescue.
You've not actually played the original Halo there, Daniel. I'm surprised. I've played the whole series. The original one's an interesting game because if it had been released on PC, it would have not done particularly very well because as a first-person shooter, I find the original Halo to be rather substandard. As a console shooter, it was one of the better ones released at the time because when Halo came out, really Halo had the advantage of being the best game on the Xbox at the time, which wasn't saying a lot. And I'm actually, that's probably being quite critical, but you actually play it in comparison to games like Shogun Mobile, Armour Division, Blood, and some of the many other FPS on PC at the time. They put Halo to shame. But it's still worth a play. If you can actually get the original PC release, that had some that had an extra weapon, as I recall. That had the flamethrower added in. Although I don't know how easy that is to get to run on modern PCs these days. Probably people will be talking about the Anniversary Edition, but there was an original PC version. But yes, if you want to play something similar to the original Halo, this is definitely plays very, very well.
Get down!
Normally I actually play FPSs from this era on hard, but I'm only playing this one on normal just so I can get a good way through it in case hard can be... Because usually hard you tend to die a bit more, so that doesn't make for much more enjoyable gameplay on due to my skill level, but for a stream I'd prefer that I keep progressing rather than getting killed and having to battle sections over again. Yeah, a lot of developers have been shut down over the years because, again, one of the reasons that I worked in the industry when I was working in the industry, I was working towards the end of that era when sort of 2010, when we saw a lot of developers just get shut down quite brutally. Nice, and guys.
If you can get inside that room, we can see who's running this show and maybe listen in on their plans. If you keep quiet and out of sight, I think you could sneak in without alerting the guards.
Activision were notorious for shutting down developers. Free Radical did do quite a few games after, but they ran into problems. And I I know a few people that actually worked them and weren't overly impressed with some of the way the studio was run. So there's definitely, I think the studio had management problems from what I'd heard within the industry. Which is a shame because I would really love to see TimeSplitters 4. They really were. The games they produced were really of very good quality.
Looks like we've outstayed our welcome, sir. We've lost contact with the defenders down by the beach. They must have been eliminated. It's a safe bet the troops are on their way. Also, 2 men have already entered the castle. We are still searching for them. They might be connected to that strange woman we captured.
Whoever they are, I want them found and killed. How soon before we can evacuate?
The last of the supplies are being loaded now, sir. As soon as they're ready, we can get below.
You listen to me, Reinhardt. I want every last crate. I need these supplies much more than I need you. Understand?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Daniel, the PAL version of TimeSplitters 2 is only 50 Hertz. You can, however, use programs like Swish to force it into 60, although I have a feeling it might be one of those games that you can't properly force into 60 because it was kind of PAL optimized.
Up on the balcony! Get him! Get everyone below!
There goes their leader. If anyone knows about the crystals, it's here. Hurry! He's getting away!
In fact, most of 3 Radicals games, I think this is the only one that's actually 60 Hertz. I seem to recall a lot of the other ones, including TimeSplitters 1, I think was 50 Hertz only. So TimeSplitters 2, yes, it is 50 Hertz only in PAL. You may be able to force it. I can't remember. I have a feeling it might be one of these games that has bugs if you force it into 60 because it's sort of weirdly part optimized.
Whoa! Check this out! Hey, isn't that me?
Sure looks like it.
Yeah, that's right where I was when the other me gave me that key.
Of course, it's a wormhole. All the time travel in the area must have destabilized the time field. Your future self must have... Cortez, wait!
Psst, hey, up here. What? But you're me. I knew you'd say that. Here. A key. But what does it... You'll figure it out. Just make sure to pass it on when you're done. Ha! That was cool.
Cortez, you can't just go walking through any wormhole you come across. They're dangerous.
What are you talking about?
Cortez, anytime you interact with yourself in a time loop, you run the risk of creating a time paradox.
Don't worry, I'll be careful.
Do you know what the best way to keep warm is?
No, and I don't want you to show me.
But Arctic explorers do it all time.
I don't care.
There's definitely a very British sense of humour with a lot of the jokes in this.
Hey, you!
Yeah, Microsoft, I mean, there are a lot of companies that have been shut down over the years, and some publishers are particularly merciless, I'll just say, Peter. There's a long history of certain publishers just shutting down people, and they have earned the ire of many over the years. Ooh, an attachment. And it's always sad. Often they do it just for the bottom line. Obviously, what's happened with a lot of studios is they make one mistake with one game and then they don't get a second chance, which is quite brutal, considering the fact when you look at studios like Naughty Dog, their first game was the horrendous. Was the horrendous like Way of the Warrior or something. It was like some awful Jaguar game. So there are a couple of them that put out some terrible games originally. Oh, we've got 2 guns now. So a lot of these characters actually come from the second game. I think some of you also appeared from the first one. So you see there, got the girl to rescue.
Don't you go anywhere, my sweet. I'll go and get help.
Just a sniper position, so I'll take that for a second because I don't really want to be using the grenade just yet. I seem to recall there being a rather...
Ah, it's you again. Splendid. I found my assistant, but she's locked up in here, and I can't find the damn key. Can you help me get her out, old chap? We can't blast the door. We might kill her in the explosion. Besides, she doesn't like big bangs. There must be another way. I need your help. Come here, old boy.
Protect Captain Ash complete. The spy holes. I was just trying to see if I can shoot the wall. Well, Rare are still going. It's just they haven't. It's just Rare had a decline somewhat, unfortunately. But they did lose a lot of their staff, which was the problem. They lost a lot of their key staff. So play some. Yes, I wish I could play some tunes on this piano. Can you actually... Oh, you can actually play it. Ah, now this is what I was expecting. I'm just going to quickly fight. Okay, where are the explosives is the question.
Explosives. Try to plant them on the tank. Its armor will is
No worries, I figured out the organ. Oh, the organ. So that's stalled again. And there goes the tank.
Wow, you took care of that tank all by yourself. Very impressive, Cortez. But we still have to find their leader. Oh, and make sure you ask the questions before you start shooting.
Help Captain Ash rest.
General says stop playing with the tank and get down below, on the double.
So we've actually rescued the assistant. Can we... The tank has somehow blown a hole in the wall, obviously, I think. Yeah. Okay, that was a waste of a... Thanks for the warning, Pete. It was a bit slow, but no. I was not paying attention there. So it's obviously one of the doors. Door's locked. Ah, supposed to go here, aren't we? Oh yeah, I wasn't.
This elevator must go right down into the island. They must be hiding something down there. Right. Now we should find out what's going on here.
I seem to remember this being like the core of the island. You meet the main scientist
What is this place?
villain here, who's basically like the main time splitter. Yeah, I should actually say that we're actually on a time delay, so what you're seeing is about 30 seconds behind where I am. Thanks for the heads up, Peter. It's just basically I'm actually playing. What you're seeing streamed is about 30 seconds behind where I am, so right now, where I just speak now, I just see get off the cutscene.
not to interrupt me.
Whoa! Anya, did you see that?
Yes. But what's a human doing with a time device?
I don't know. But if we find him, we find the crystals.
But we have no way of knowing where he jumped to.
Would this help?
Well, if I took a scan of the photo, I could identify the surrounding landscape with our topographical database. Then, if I triangulated the distances and heights of the buildings, then cross-reference that data with the architectural styles, I might be able to deduce some probable locations.
How about Stanislav Train Depot, September 4th, 1969?
What?
It's on the back of the photo.
Well, that's good enough for me. I'll set the time machine to those coordinates. Cortez, you ready?
Yeah, it's time to split.
Right. Whatever.
Okay, I'll play for probably do a little bit longer. I'm quite enjoying playing this. It's been a while since I played this, so before I finish. It's been a long time. I played through it many years ago. I'm not actually using my save file for this. I do remember the train level being quite cool.
Are you for real?
Stop that.
Hey, don't harsh out, dude.
Who are you?
The name's Tipper, man. Harry Tipper. Don't blow our cover, man.
Who is that?
That fat cat there is Kalos.
The cat in... The guy in the green suit?
What? No, man. The dude in the white suit is Kalos. He kidnapped my girl because I foiled his plans for world domination.
Right. How about the other guy?
Him? Gee, I don't know, man. He just appeared a few months back, like out of nowhere. Some cult leader. Brotherhood of Ultra Science or something freaky like that.
So what's he doing here?
Word is, Kalos giving him a small army in exchange for, get this, eternal life.
Eternal life?
Yeah, far out, eh? Hey, where you going, man?
Time to split.
Ouch, that's not cool, man.
So yes, a lot of the characters in this do pastiche films and various other medias.
According to a transmission received, Kalos has stolen a nuclear missile from the French and is planning to start World War III. We gotta get there in the nick of time to save the world. We need to eliminate the guards in this area, Spaceman. Why not show me your moves? See if you can take them without being spotted.
And guys, as always, if you do like this video, I see we've got a couple of viewers tonight. It'd be great if you could hit that subscribe button if you are logged in. I know not everyone can subscribe.
Oh, busted. Yes, it's Harry Tipper saving the day.
Harry Tipper failing miserably. You obviously... Is that Harry? Yes, that's Harry. Going to shoot. So a lot of this character, Harry Tipper, did appear in the second game, along with his assistant, who you're now having to rescue.
Pretty stealthy. Maybe in space no one can hear you, but down here you're noisier than a blaze in a fireworks factory. There's no way to follow Callus through that gate. We'll have to take a more sneaky route.
I think it was Harry that set it off, actually, but let's go underground.
It's not fair. The girls get much nicer uniforms than we do.
You want to wear the girls' uniforms?
Yes, I think they give good freedom of movement, and they must be nice and cool in summer.
Oh man, you're weird. Why are you telling me this?
I think you will understand. I have watched you a lot. I think you are not...
Oh, I interrupted their conversation. I'll be honest, I don't remember much in the way of stealth mechanics in this. This is one of those games that I think if they did put stealth, it's not really the forefront of the game's design. There are a lot of games that sort of badly implemented stealth from this era after Metal Gear. Well, even Metal Gear has some weird implementation of stealth. So is this just the comedy scene? Is that it? It's just been a comedy scene down here. Is there a door? Okay, no worries. Enjoy. Thanks for watching, Daniel. It's always nice to have people come, and hope you enjoyed the stream. Hope you enjoyed enough to decide if you'd like to pick this up at some point. Oh yeah, there is a suppressor on. I didn't realise.
Check this out. I got it from the gadget department at HQ. Laser glasses. Not as good as X-ray glasses, but still pretty cool.
Thank you for the note there, Peter.
Okay, man.
It doesn't actually tell you have a suppressor either. I didn't see it, so...
Let's meet up under the water tower. Good luck.
Looks like a stealthy approach could be in order here.
Okay, let's do some stealth approach then. Well, I must admit, I do prefer make all guns blazing where possible. Okay, so I think around here. I do remember there was a lot more stealth, certainly the start of the second game, TimeSplitters 2, where you had the opening section with all the alarms and stuff. And GoldenEye did really well. So hopefully none of them just see me pop those people. Okay, let's keep the stealth pistol for now. Oh, guy there. Another headshot. Another headshot. Okay, someone's sneaking around here. Is that someone? That is, isn't it? Okay, that's an electrified gate. I'm getting grenades thrown at me. Yep, I've got all the guards alerted. Let's do something a bit more heavy duty then. That's because I didn't fit. I thought I'd headshotted the other guy, but I obviously hadn't. They do seem quite adept at killing themselves, I have to admit. Yeah, it's because I thought I'd headshotted the other guy and obviously hadn't killed them. Someone's definitely firing grenades, so I can't go in there. What's my health? So I've still got a bulletproof jacket on. I thought my health was worse, actually. Let's go back to silence. Yeah, good. Yeah, a lot of the guns in this were based on real guns. Yeah, some similar animations to how they died in GoldenEye as well, with the sort of prolonged deaths where they'd often look at where you'd shot them. So what was my objective again? Actually knock him out as well. That's handy to know. Not used. I feel like I want to be blowing up that power generator, but obviously not. Rendezvous at water tower. So, question is, where is the water tower? Ah, there. That's where I've got a rendezvous. That's electrified. I'm gonna.
This gate is electrified. You'll have to deactivate it to proceed.
Okay, so that's a bit annoying that there are a few trigger prompts. So that's what I thought with the generator. It looked. Oh, I probably need to go in the room and shoot it. Despite the fact you kind of expect to be able to shoot through the wall to blow it up. So I'm guessing going here. Oh, I should probably pull the lever. Okay, yeah.
Now you should be able to reach the water tower and rendezvous with Harry.
And that was me thinking I could blow it up. That's the thing, I do tend to like blowing things up. I much prefer shooters that are shoot, shoot, shoot rather than stealth. I do remember one of the best stealth sections in TimeSplitters 2 was actually the very, very beginning. In the start in Serbia, which is sort of modelled on
Hey, spaceman! Okay, Moon Man. I hope you know what you're doing.
Soon we rule world, and I get card.
get the sports car, so red one. And I love it like a thingy woman. Girls love sports car. Ooh, what a big red one. Ooh, so impressive.
Still got one left. This is the part where I probably wanted to turn up the brightness slightly. Oh, come on. Yes, as I mentioned, there's a slight delay, so whenever you say, so often I've already done it by the time it's actually appeared because of how we've got a weird delay with this. So you'll actually see your reply, your comments appear up in the top when they go live, guys. So you will be all in the stream. So cheers for, that's the one thing I like about having the comments. It's actually nice to keep people. Now, where is, oh, you okay, that's not good for Harry. And I have not protected him enough. Okay, let's try that again. And this time I know where I'm sniping, so... Skip, 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 skip. Unskippable cutscenes. Little trip about video games: if they've got unskippable cutscenes, that means they're masking the loading, and I could hear my Gamecube loading, so...
We rule world! And I get car, get the sports car, so red one. And I love it like a thingy woman. Girls love sports car. Ooh, what a big red one! Ooh, so impressive!
This is actually where you feel the sometimes the Gamecube pad can be perhaps not as perhaps not as sensitive as it needs to be. Okay, so Harry should be coming in this side in a second. Okay, there he goes. So now I've got to cover side again. Damn it. Right, let's try this third time lucky, as they say. The sniping is actually a little bit twitchy. It's not quite as accurate as I'd like. Actually, I'll turn up the brightness on my TV, so...
Hey, spaceman!
Oh, that's where he is. He's actually there. I couldn't see him before.
Man, we'll never get in there without disguises. I'm gonna steal us some uniforms, but I'll need your help, spaceman. That looks like a barracks. I'll use these tunnels to get past the gate. You get up this tower and give me cover. If I'm spotted, I'm just gonna keep moving. It's up to you to plug the guards before they put too many holes in old Tipper's hide.
Yeah, that last one, he was being blocked by that final shot. So ideally, I want to try and get a couple of them towards the barrels. So turned up my brightness so I can actually see a bit better. Because before I couldn't quite work out where I was aiming with some of the reticles.
And I love it like like a thingy woman. Girls love sport. Ooh, what a big red one! Ooh, so impressive!
I think what's actually doing the real damage to Harry is if they hit a barrel. Okay, so that one's running for cover at the minute, which makes... Hopefully it's only the 2 sections, else I need to be really on the ball if there's 3. Can I put a grenade in there? Oh no, I can't. You don't actually have the range on the grenades. Let's try that. Yeah, we'll be the first one to submit. The controls here are a little bit twitchy. This is where the aiming's not quite as... Oh! This part we're fine, I've got to cover him again. Oh, we've done it, we've done it. Okay, turning up the brightness helps at that point. Okay. Oh, didn't mean to fall down. So we will be doing Soul Calibur 2 on the Gamecube tomorrow. If you guys are interested in watching the fight night, that'll be me and Dragoon battling it out once again. Hope you've enjoyed this one. I'll probably just go a little bit further and then I'll finish in a few minutes. See how far I can get. I'd quite like to finish this stage, but I think it's probably going to take a bit longer. So where is Tipper at the minute? I'm back here. Now, how have I just gone round in a circle that I shouldn't have gone in? Am I supposed to be regrouping with Harry Tipper? Have I just shot a load of people up? This door is locked. My current objective is find time traveller. Okay. So where is Harry at the minute? Where do I need to be? Oh, there he is after I shot the whole place up.
Okay, man. Here's our disguises. I could only find one that would fit me, but what the heck? This is the 60s. Anything goes, baby.
I think this may be the end of the level, chaps. So thanks for watching, ladies and gentlemen.
Man, the things I do to save the world. It's pretty breezy, too. Hey, got any spare socks? I need some padding. This is the last thing they'll be expecting.
No, that's worries. Well, thanks for watching. We expect everyone to finish off now. I'm going to finish the stream anyway, so thanks for watching. Peter, it's been a joy. You and Daniel, it's been great to have people with me on the stream tonight. I've got a few other viewers as well who I know don't necessarily comment, but thanks for watching, guys.
What was it like? It was fascinating. I always thought cults were for loot.
This is great. They don't suspect a thing, spaceman. That blast door on the left leads to Sector 3. That's where Kalos and his train are. Gotta get in there.
I
Attention, main power deactivated in Sector 1.
With the main power offline, that blast door isn't moving. You'll have to restore power to access Sector 3.
Oh, more fight. Oh yes, I shouldn't be shooting people when I'm in a costume. Never mind, we'll start a bit of chaos. If all else fails, just shoot everyone.
Chill out with the bullets, man.
Oh, that was Harry I'm shooting. Well, they're all wearing the same disguises. Where's the fire coming from? Who's shooting me? Ah, up there. Okay, that was not how you infiltrate an enemy villain's secret base. I'll do 10 more minutes of this stream and then I will finish. So thanks for watching, ladies and gentlemen.
This looks like the main generator. Get this working and you'll get power back. According to that panel, you need to activate a starter motor before you can get this generator going.
Activate starter motor. Okay. Restore main power, activate starter motor. Okay. I must admit, although I played through this many years ago, because it's been so long, it does feel literally like I'm playing it again for the first time. Okay, doesn't look like there's anything around this way other than loot, so... That's bricked in. There's nothing more annoying than a bit where something you need to hit doesn't quite work or it's not quite clear as it should be. So, to me, this looks like I should be able to press that thing. I want to be able to press that, but it's not letting me. So am I looking for something? Oh, I got the engineer's card key. Ah, yes, I know what I'm doing wrong. I got the engineer's card key, didn't I? That's what I'm doing. Okay, like, let's go back to some stealth. Try not to create a ruckus. So yes, I'm doing this the gun home this whole stage. I should be doing stealthy, knocking people out. Okay, let's not go in there just yet. Stick.
Look, turbines. That explains why you need water pressure. You better find the controls.
We're running out of time.
I'm doing it now, aren't I? The sooner you stop bothering me, the sooner it'll be done.
Okay.
These turbines must provide the main power for this sector, but they're inactive.
Okay, knocking him out, not the best idea if they all start shooting. Okay, we're looking for... So I'm looking for... Well, we saw the one, the turbine we've got to turn. Where is it?
No water flow. That's why the turbines aren't active.
And there we go.
pressure restored in Sector 1. Sector 1 foreman, report immediately.
Okay, we have water pressure, so that should mean we can turn on okay, so that's the start motor active, so now I can activate
Okay, now you just need to fire up the main generator and we should be good to go.
Now I can press the switch here. We've got green light there, yep, we didn't have before. And now we can infiltrate, was it Kavos' secret base?
Okay, power is back online. Onwards to Sector 3.
Incidentally, the guy we're chasing, we will chase him throughout pretty much the entire game, as he is the final villain, final boss as I recall. If you want a 4K video of this, guys, and you're watching this later, please let me know, and I will probably do an upload at some point. I've got a small sample of gameplay for a video I'm doing, but I probably should do a bit more. Let's get into the gun seat. I also need to... Let me drive! How's my driving? As this goes, although not... Yeah, this... So the drive mechanics are totally new for TimeSplitters 3, and they're actually quite good fun. There's a nice little touch that you couldn't do in the previous games that... How did Harry get killed? How did Harry manage to get himself killed? Harry, you're incompetent.
Attention, Harry Tipper has entered the base. He is disguised as a woman. Treat all females with suspicion until their identity is determined.
Like you.
Oh, maybe I did drive through him when I was running previously. Never mind, mistakes happen.
Oh no, hostages. I hate hostages, man. Whining on about needing rescue, it takes all the fun out of the job. Sometimes I hate being the good guy. Okay, listen, spaceman. You go on and try to stop the train. I'll save the hostages and then catch up with you.
Hey you! The ugly woman with a mustache! You better let me go right now! My daddy is a billionaire, and he does anything I tell him. Let me out at once, or I'll tell him to have you killed. Move, you heifer! I need a bath, and a facial, and a manicure, and I want to go shopping!
Man, I can think of something else you need.
Leave the hostage to Tipper. You have to find the time traveler.
Yeah, so one of them, we had the little monkey there, which I think is actually probably going to be a good endpoint with the little iconic free radical character who crops up in a lot of their games, the monkey, the TimeSplitters monkey.
Another blast door. Well, we don't have time to mess around. Better just find some explosives. Fast.
Attention, train crew to boarding stations. Prepare for departure.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it is 11 o'clock and somewhere there is explosives I need to find to blow this facility up, but I'm actually going to finish now. We call the elevator. Gotta find some explosives. But I will finish there, as we've gone on about half an hour longer than the standards. The stream time, I think it's a good quantity of the game we've shown. So if you haven't played TimeSplitters 3, I do highly recommend it. I do recommend TimeSplitters 2 and 3. I wasn't that keen on the first one. I think the first one was a bit, perhaps not as modern as it could be. Oh, I wonder if you're supposed to ram the blast door with the car. It's actually a really good series. I do highly recommend the second and third games. If you haven't had a chance to play them, certainly pick them up on Gamecube, PS2 or Xbox. I think there is talk of this one being remade at some point, so maybe we'll see that in the near future. So, ladies and gentlemen, as always, thank you for watching. If you like this video, please do hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed to the channel and you would like to subscribe to our content, please do hit that subscribe button. Of course, there's always the bell button as well if you want to get more notifications about randomized gaming. And I have been your host of this video, Random Gamer Riven. And thank you, everyone, and good night.